Ethan Stacy was only 4 years old when he was murdered in May 2010 in Layton, Utah. His story began far from Utah in Virginia, where he lived with his biological father, Joe Stacy. Ethan had been sent to spend the summer with his mother, Stephanie Sloop, as part of a custody arrangement. It would be the last time Joe would ever see his son alive. Stephanie Sloop had recently married a man named Nathan Sloop, who had a violent history and had shown troubling behavior even before Ethan arrived in Utah. Within days of Ethan's arrival, neighbors began to hear screaming from the apartment. Stephanie did not report Ethan missing. In fact, she never reported anything to police. Instead, she and Nathan brutally abused Ethan behind closed doors. According to court documents and autopsy results, Ethan was beaten, burned, denied medical attention, and locked in a bedroom for days. His injuries included a shattered skull, severe burns, and multiple bruises. He was malnourished and had a broken jaw that went untreated. As Ethan lay dying, Stephanie and Nathan continued to carry on with their lives, even going out to get married in a civil ceremony. After Ethan succumbed to his injuries, they took his body to a remote area near Ogden Canyon. There, they tried to conceal the crime by burning and burying his remains. They then reported him missing to police in an attempt to divert attention. Police quickly saw through their lies. Their stories were inconsistent, and investigators found evidence of abuse and blood in the couple's apartment. Stephanie eventually admitted that they had both participated in the cover-up and described the horrific final days of Ethan's life. The medical examiner confirmed that Ethan had suffered prolonged abuse and died from a combination of blunt force trauma and neglect. The state charged both Stephanie and Nathan with aggravated murder, child abuse, desecration of a body, and obstruction of justice. Nathan Sloop eventually pleaded guilty to aggravated murder and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole in 2014. Stephanie Sloop pleaded guilty to aggravated murder in 2015. As part of a plea agreement, she was sentenced to 20 years to life in prison, avoiding the death penalty but guaranteeing she would spend decades behind bars. The death of Ethan Stacy sparked widespread outrage and led to a renewed call for stricter child welfare oversight in Utah. His father, Joe Stacy, spoke publicly about the systemic failures that allowed Ethan to be sent to a dangerous environment and pushed for changes to child custody enforcement and supervision. Ethan's tragic story became a catalyst for reform and remains one of the most heartbreaking child abuse cases in Utah's history.